Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to Project Jacqui. Today we are going to start off, well, we're hopefully going to almost finish doing it because there's not that much to do. But the first thing I want to do is clean the seats. So let's just turn you around before we clean the seats. I just want to show you them again and just quickly go through what's left to do on this car. Okay, so this is the second video on Project Jacqui. Last one went up Sunday, today is Tuesday. Quite a few comments and some nice comments from you regarding the car and obviously the lady that used to own it. One thing I had thought about before, and one person did suggest it, and I am actually going to do this, is when I sell this, I do have one of the subscribers on the channel has been messaging me for some time and wanted a car, and I've said to them, does this one fit the bill? And he said yes, so he's probably going to buy it. Obviously he's got first refusal on it. He is about an hour and a half away from me, he said, but he's obviously sees what I do and he's been after a car for a little while, and this one may fit the bill. Couple of things I just wanted to point out quickly is that bumper. I'm not happy with that at all. It's not good enough. As much as I didn't want to do, you know, masses to this car, I can't leave that like that. I need to try and improve that a little bit. It might not be fantastic when I've finished. It might not be, you know, it's not going to be a super duper repair, but I have repaired bits like that before and come out much better than that. So I'm gonna although I've plastic welded it from the back, I'm not going to do any more work from the back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to burn the groove, burn a groove in the crack, fill it with plastic filler, fill it with plastic filler, rub it down, a bit of dolphin glaze over it, primer and paint, and see how that looks. If I make a complete pig's ear of it, I'm going to have to try and get a new bumper. And they're really difficult to get at the moment. There just don't seem to be any around. And even getting a bumper, getting one without any damage at all, you know, I'll probably end up getting one that's got worse damage than that on it. That's the problem. It's getting second-hand bumpers that are decent. So I'm going to do my best on that, and that'll be tomorrow in this video, but tomorrow. Yeah, what else has got to do? So seat cleaning today. So the seats are all set up ready for you to go, but the seats are quite bad. Don't know if the camera picks up the dirt particularly, but they are relatively bad. Badly water stained. The backs aren't too bad. That side is a bit worse. As I say, I would have cleaned these. Carpets are all right. They don't need a shampoo. I would have cleaned these when I got the car. I'm sure I had the car. Yeah, I did have the Karsha then, so I would have. Even before I had the Karsha, I had like a domestic. I think it was a Vax machine or one of those types of things, which was nowhere near as good as the Karsha, but it sort of did the job. Door card this side is fine, but I will clean it. Door side, that side, being the driver's side, obviously is a lot dirtier. So we'll do those. Yeah, apart from that, stereo. Oh, we've got to do that as well. That will hopefully, again, that will be tomorrow as well. Now the stereo, obviously the subscriber who's interested in the car has said to me that, you know, he'd love to have the Pioneer stereo in it. The Blue and Me, I'm still toying with the idea of whether I take it out or not. I mean, you know, in theory I could take it out and send it off and get it repaired, and then I could use that in another car. If you haven't, yes, by the time you've seen this video you would have seen the next video on that one, and I discovered that the battery on that one is completely dead, brand spanking new battery. So although as far as I'm aware the Blue and Me works on that one, it may have a parasitic drain. So yeah, you've already seen that video, so you know what's going on. If you haven't seen that one, then I'll put a link to it above. Go and have a look. The latest video on that machine, on that car. But yeah, apart from the stereo, so I've ordered the module. The module was 54 quid or 56 quid. The module to link to the steering wheel controls, which is quite expensive. But I thought it was worth a try because I wanted to do another video. because as you know, the other stereo I did in the blue car, that was in a pop, and I wanted to do it in a pop because there's no issue with steering control. So again, you know, it's a little bit cheaper as well. But I wanted to do one with the steering controls, and this is obviously the ideal time to do it. You know, I'm not taking out a stereo that doesn't work. The stereo works fine. I can sell the stereo. But I will probably, yeah, I think I probably will take the Blue and Me unit out. So obviously the seats will come out and what have you to do that. But anyway, that's again, that will be on another video, the stereo part of it. So let's get on and get these seats cleaned, because I start working about an hour and 20 minutes. So I need to get these seats cleaned and allow them to dry. So yeah, set you up. Let's do it. Let's get them cleaned. Oh, it's very warm. Right, that's the seats done. That's the last of that cleaning stuff now, the one that gives me all that residue. So I have got some other liquid stuff that I bought ages ago, which I haven't used. So I'll have to give that machine a really good clean out and try this other stuff that I've got, which I'm hoping will not leave a residue. I don't think it will, because it's not powder, it's liquid. But yeah, they're lovely and clean. It does get them up really nice and clean. It's just that overspray is really annoying. Yeah, lovely and clean. I took the back seat out because if I'm going to take that Blue and Me unit out, I've got to take at the very least the pad out to get that back panel out. So, because you do really need to take that back panel out to get to the Blue and Me. It's not easy to do because you've got to drill out the rivets. It's not easy to do. So yeah, that's the seats. Door cards all clean. That's all nice and clean. That was only really dirty one side, to be honest, the driver's side. But yeah, you know, they didn't look that dirty. But look at the water. It's incredible, isn't it? You don't think they're that dirty, but you could see the amount of dirt that was coming out of them. So that's 3 years of dirt. And no doubt they were as bad. I can't remember what the seats were like, because I haven't got a video of this car from before. Oh, tripping over the extension lead. I don't know cleaning wise what I did, but I mean, they're always dirty, especially with these, as I mentioned earlier, with these dog tooth seats. Right, so that's it on this car for today. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be back on this one, the video of which you would have already seen, because that would have been Sunday's video. But as I mentioned just before I did the seats, I've got that stereo module, the steering controls module on order. So that's due to come tomorrow, I think. We'll probably won't do the stereo, probably not until, maybe not until next week, possibly. I don't want to rush this. I've got the arch liner, so I can get that on. The subscriber who's going to buy this, or possibly going to buy this, is actually going to get the wheels refurbished, and possibly refurbished and powder coated in white. He's got a really, I can't remember what the price was now, but it was a really good price too, because he said a bit of a problem getting all 4 wheels done, because you know, you've got to get all 4 wheels off the car, take them there, wait for them to come back. But he's found somewhere near him that you can take the car to. They'll take the wheels off, take the tyres off, refurb, powder coat, put them all back on, put them back on the car, a couple of days. So that's ideal. And he's thinking about getting them done in white, which, yeah, they might look good. I know the white wheels do look good. Certainly the Abarth white wheels do look good. Personally, I would have done these in gunmetal rather than the silver, because I think the gunmetal looks really nice. A bit like the Sport, the colour on the Sport. But yeah, so it doesn't really matter about how bad the wheels are, because they'll be getting, because that wheel's quite bad. The back ones aren't too bad, but that one's quite bad. And that one's relatively bad. So it don't really matter. So the back ones aren't too bad. They never are they? It's always the front ones that generally the ones that get scuffed up. But yeah, so as I say, that's it for the time being. I'm going to move the car back around there now. Put something on the seat so I don't get a wet bum. Park it up, and I've got to start work soon. So part of this video will be continuing. We'll be doing that. We'll be doing that. Do the arch liner. We'll do that next actually. We'll get that arch liner in. Got to clean the engine. Hopefully the seats will be dry by tomorrow. I would imagine they will be in this weather. Yeah, that's it. So we'll go through that tomorrow anyway, what we're going to do. But until then. Today we are going to take out the Blue and Me unit out of this car and then put all the car back together again, because we are not putting the Blue and Me unit back in, because as you know, we're going to install the Pioneer stereo. We've got the module for the steering controls as well, so we're going to do that tomorrow. But for today, we're going to do that and a few other bits and pieces around the car. So let's get on with it. Right, so as you can see on the floor down here, one drill with lots of bits of rivet on the end of it. That's because the other car, Project Holly, I've just taken the Blue and Me unit out of that one. So I'll be sending both of these off to be repaired. But on this one, I am going to be installing that nice, I've got it in the boot actually. So this is the box. As you can see, it's got a, I'm not sure how it comes out, so I'm not going to try and force it. It has got a display on it, as you can see there in the middle, as you can see there. So you can use it with just that display, but using an app, you can use it. You can have that as a display, which is really funky. That's the. I'm not sure whether I'm going to need that, because it sort of seems to come with one. So I think that's the one I use, and then I've got them indoors, but they were 50 odd quid, 56 quid I think it was for the other one. I'll get it in a minute and show you it to you. Well, I'll do that tomorrow when I actually put it in. But as you know, we've done the proxy alignment, which works surprisingly enough. Now I need to take the Blue and Me unit out. Like I just did in the previous car, the first thing I'm going to do is just make sure the brake lights work, because one of the things that one of the fuses for the Blue and Me unit is also for the not only for the stereo, but it's also for the brake lights. So just belt and braces. I just want to make sure. It's easier than checking the fuse, to be honest, but it won't be the fuse, as I say, because there are the OBD port, the stereo, the clutch sensor, all that comes off the same fuse as the Blue and Me, and of course they're all working. So that's what we need to do. So we're going to do that, get that out, put that all back together. I'm going to see if I can figure out why these aren't working, these sensors aren't working. It's probably the module. It could be the earth, could be the live, I don't know. They've been in there 3 years. There's no reason why they should have failed, but I think I might have a spare module. If not, I'll get a new set, and then I can use the module out of it. So one way or the other, we'll get those working anyway. What else? What else? What else? What else? We need to attack that on there, that tiny little bit of rust on there, that needs sorting. We need to have another go at this bumper. And that's about it, apart from a good clean-up. Not an awful lot more to do, I don't think. And then it'll be ready. And as I said to you earlier, or the previous video rather, one of the subscribers is probably going to buy this. He's very interested in it, so yeah, it's all is good, all is good. So let's get on with it. Enough waffling, enough walking around the car, which we've done a million times. Let's get on with it. I don't know if I've mentioned before, there's pretty much new tyres all the way around on this, which is good. That was mentioned, is that a scratch? No, it's not, it's a bit of dirt. It's where I'd cleaned the front panel. When I had the bumper off, I'd cleaned the front panel with elbow grease, excuse me, with elbow grease, and just a bit of residue, so I'll clean that off. So yeah, that's dirt. Anyway, let's get on with it. clean on the inside. Sorry, it's not all clean on the inside. I've got to clean it on the inside, but we got the back seat back in, got the Blue and Me unit out. I just got to go over the hard plastics now, because obviously I cleaned the seats yesterday. Or was it the day before? Don't know, I lost track now. I've got two identical cars, and I can't remember what I've done to each car. But today I've taken two Blue and Me units out, one out of each. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me post a picture of the two Blue and Me units I'm going to send off and have repaired. I found someone on eBay who will do them. He had two ads. One I think said £78, and the other one said like £148. And I messaged him yesterday and said, you know, what's with the two different ads? And he asked me to call him. So I replied and said, well, I'm actually taking them out within the next couple of days. I've got two. I'll give you a ring then. I haven't done yet, but with a bit of luck, I might get them done for a cheaper price. But at that price, it's worth taking them out, sending them off. When previously I paid 170 quid, I think it was, or 159 pounds. I can't remember now. It was a lot more than that though. It's getting on for double. But yeah, so what we got, I'm going to clean all the plastics. Then I'm going to have a go at the parking sensors, see if we can get those to work. And then I'm going to do that little bit of paint there, and do the bit of paint on the front. And after that, it's just the stereo to do, which I will do tomorrow, and then it'll be pretty much finished then. So I'll see you in a bit. Right. And I'll see if I can get these, I'll see if I can find out why the sensors aren't working. So I've got them on, got the car in reverse. And with the ignition on. So by rights they should work. So it could be the live wire, it could be the earth wire, don't know. Let's get me wire strippers. I'm going to have a look at the wires. Bear with me a second, and I'll be back. Is that setting it off? So all it was a dirty earth. It's working now. All it was a dirty earth. That was it. That was all it was. So I am going to put it all back together. That's the only place I could ever find a decent earth around here. It's not the ideal place, but I do it on the screw there. There's nothing really behind. There's no screws or anything behind. It's the only decent place I can ever find. But yeah, the live was all okay. So what we need to do is just make sure that's screwed in properly. I've lost me. What have I done with it? There it is. I just got to make sure that this. I'll put it in and then I'll test it again. But it should be right now, I think. Well, there's plenty of wire there. So that's all it was, yeah. So we need to push these. Actually, what we'll do, I think what I did once before on one. So we'll push it back into position, push the wire in the hole, and then put the screw in. That's it. So what I'll do is before I put the other one in, I'll just make sure that that's still okay. It's warm. Like, it's not working again. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, this. I think we'll try wrapping it round. Let's get a bit more. Bit more wire. Yeah, I wish we had a better earth. A better earth point, but I can't find one. Oh, it's come right off now. That's better. Right, let's try that again. If we wrap it round, actually let's get even more. And a nice long piece of earth to give us some plenty to wrap round. That should do it, hopefully. We do that up. That's it. That's it. Right, that's that done. So that's that working. That didn't take long, luckily. So that's good that that's still working after all that time. 3 years, because you often wonder about these cheap Chinese things like this, but this one seems to be working fine. So that's it. That's good. Another job done. Right, next job is to put this arch liner on. Here's the new one with an inbuilt little access panel, which aren't brilliant, but probably better than the originals, actually, better design. So that certainly ain't going to fall off. So we need to get that put on. Okay, so let's do that. I should have recorded these bits really for you, but I got so involved in it I forgot. So I've repaired that. It didn't take long, wasn't very bad. A little bit of dolphin glaze, rubbed down, primed. Dolphin glaze, that's all it needed, was a bit of dolphin glaze. Paint. It's, what do you call it, direct gloss paint, so no lacquer needed. Shined it up with, or cut and polished it with a 2000 grit, and then I went over it with the old, what do you call it, the G360. Lots of people have recommended this, and this sort of takes place of a 3000 grit. It does the same as a 3000 grit, so I went over it with a 1.5, a 2.5, and then cut it back with that using the little battery operated machine polisher that I got from AliExpress. And then put some Ultimate Shine polish on it, and it looks great. Down here we had, oops, neighbour's car's in the way. We had a little bit of a hickey down there. It wasn't rust, it was just a bit of a hickey. So we filled that last week. I tell you what, using a hand sander is so much easier with a 180 grit, and then again I've gone over that. I haven't gone over it yet, sorry. I've done 3 coats of undercoat. You can't see the repair at all. It's invisible, completely invisible. I've just got to wet sand that down back a little bit, and then we'll get some top coat on that as well. Yeah, using that sander with a 180 grit is fantastic. So again, I didn't show you this. I did this back end of last week as well. Still work in progress, needs a little bit more work. So I used some plastic filler. So I rubbed it right back, which worked really well. Bearing in mind that this is been hot stapled from the inside. So it was still a little bit proud. So I rubbed it right back. I've put plastic filler in it, I've rubbed that down, and then I put some dolphin glaze in. There is just a little bit of a recess there, so it just needs a tiny little bit more dolphin glaze. That stuff goes off so quick that I'll probably leave it half an hour and then I can come back to it and re-sand it, and then hopefully that'll be enough to prime it. So it's all the paint seems to match really well, that paint, the direct gloss paint I've got, whether it'll match as well on here. I had already put some paint on here, if you remember, and you can't see the join, even though I hadn't polished it up. So yeah, so I'm going to wax dolphin glaze in there, let that go off, and then I'm just going around the car doing little bits and pieces. I need to give it a wash as well. So where are we with this car? What else we got left to do? We've got to get the aircon topped up. That reminds me, I must text the bloke now, see if he can do it today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow will be better. And I think we're done then. I think we are done. So the subscriber on the channel who's going to come down and have a look at this, probably buy it. He's obviously seen it. Oh, I've got a couple of bolts to put in under there as well, haven't I, on those? If you remember when I looked underneath the exhaust and that, the 2 bolts on the bumper aren't in, so I need to do those. Apart from that, I think it's done. I need to clean the engine, I think. Possibly need to clean the engine, as I always do. I don't think there's anything else left to do. I mean, it wasn't very much. I've not created work. Well, I have created work myself by doing the stereo, of course, but you know, I wasn't happy with the way that looked. It just wasn't. No, I just wasn't happy with it. I was trying to do as least amount as possible as I could on the car, but I want to get the car still, like I always do, as good as I can. I'm not spending any money on these wheels or any time on these wheels, because I think I mentioned before that the fellow who's coming to look to probably buy for his wife is going to get these wheels refurbished and painted, plastic dipped, whatever you call it, plastic coated. I can't think what the term is now. Plastic dip, whatever it is, white, which I think will look quite nice. Yeah, different. I've had these in black and they look really good in black, so I don't see why they wouldn't look good in white. Personally, I would have done it gunmetal, but I think white will look good as well. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else left to do. I'll check everything over, check all the, check the wipers, make sure they're all okay. Oh, actually, they're a little bit worn. I might change the wipers. I've got some new ones. All those sort of things that will make this car as good as I can get it. There's no other dents in it. There might be a couple of little bits of paint that need touching up here and there, but that's it, pretty much. So I'll get some more dolphin glaze on this. We'll come back. We'll get some paint on it. Hopefully, we'll get this bit finished today. Get it all. I probably won't polish it until tomorrow. I'll let it go off overnight. Obviously, normally you'd let it go off overnight, and then you'd put your final what do you call it, lacquer on, clear coat on while it's still tacky, and then you'd leave it overnight and come back and polish it up and cut it back and polish it back. Cut it back and polish it up the next day. But because I'm not putting any lacquer on this, I'm still going to leave it till the following day. And it is really hot as well, so that will probably help it. We're approaching our second heat wave again now. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah, so we'll be back once we've done this, and hopefully we can make a nicer job of it this time. It looks better already, even without the paint on it. Just, yeah, looks much better. Right, so let's get some dolphin glaze mixed up, get that on, and we'll be back. So, getting there now. Nearly done. It's not as good as I hoped it would be. You can still see it, and I haven't finished yet. I have still got another couple of coats to do, and obviously it's got to be cut back tomorrow. There are some little marks in it still that you can see. Depends on the angle you're at, but I think, I mean, it's not perfect by any stretch, but it's as good as I can get it, and it's a lot better than it was when I originally fixed it. So yeah, it'll be better once it's all polished up and what have you. I think the colour match is okay, pretty much. Yeah, I've done the best I can. I've done the bit down there. You cannot see that at all. I've already shown you this bit here. I've put the screws, I've cleaned the exhaust pipe up as much as I can. The exhaust tip, the chrome tip. I've put the screws in underneath, which were missing. So aircon regas is happening at 5:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm going up to the fella to get that done, and then tomorrow I will give it. That would be finished. So I'll give it a really good clean. I've cleaned the engine, and I think that's it then. Right, that's it. That's done. That's had numerous coats. I can see it's already nice and shiny. It's great stuff, that direct gloss. Really is. Colour match looks alright. Can't tell where it joins. I'll leave it for today and I'll give it a polish in the morning. Give it a cut and polish tomorrow morning. So yeah, we are pretty much done. I think I'm going to just give it another quick hoover inside now and a quick clean up. What you may have just noticed in some of the video, you may have noticed that the stereo's been done, but you haven't seen that happen yet because this video is coming up before that video. So it's a little bit arse about face, but I'd already started recording this video before I did the stereo, and I wanted to do the stereo on its own as a video on its own. So yes, I'll have to keep you in suspense for that, but the stereo is in. So everything else is pretty much done now. It's just a final clean and then a final go around, touch up any bits that need touching up. Aircon's being done tomorrow. Yeah, oh, I've got to change those wipers. Apart from that, I think that's it, you know. I can't think of anything else that needs to be doing. I think I'm looking at this as if it's like one of my major projects, but it's not, is it? As much as I had a few little painty bits to go around the car and do, it's not one of my major projects. There's nothing down this side that needs doing. It does need a damn good clean. I think I mentioned earlier, I did mention earlier, I won't say it again, about the wheels. Yeah, wheels are a bit scuffed, front ones, but they're going to be refurbed by the new owner if he does buy it. So yeah, I think for the time being we'll call it a day on this. We'll probably do one more short video just to finish off, but that'll be it for the time being. So yeah, that's it on this one for the time being. So the next video you will see, so this video will be on to Wednesday, I think, and then the video of the stereo will be on Sunday. Yeah, I think that's right. But the stereo definitely comes after this, and then obviously we've got the other car to be getting on with now, get that bloody door done at long last. So as always, if you're not a subscriber, hit that button up there, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, welcome your comments as always, and so until Sunday when you get to see the stereo getting put in. It was a bit of a nightmare, but we got there in the end. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.